Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Welcome to the show. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. It's now about 11:41, and we're going to be on here for a while. Let's see here. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. Hello, J&M Boutique. Blessings to everybody out there. Susan Murray, Deborah. Hey, Scrubs, everybody. Boy, the screens are going quick tonight. Resin Jewelry, welcome. Deborah Do-Gooder. Rachel, thank you for the gift. It's a Friday night, and anything is possible. Oh, thank you for giving me. I appreciate that. Change of agent, welcome to the show. We're going to set our goals tonight. Also, our Venmo, which is a PayPal. PayPal owns a thing called Venmo. Venmo is part of PayPal. So on my main page, I do have a link to my Venmo where you can donate $5 or $10, which is not a whole lot, but whatever you want to donate. And if you love the work we're doing here, that we've been doing consistently, that helps really support my work. $5 or $10 donation to my Venmo link. You can do that either after the show or during the show, whenever you want to. Also, hey, Susan Mary, thank you. Tahar. Thank you. It just occurred 40 minutes ago. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. And we're going to have another great show tonight. I have no idea what's going to happen. The beautiful thing about this show, I really don't know what's going to happen. Something always does happen on this show, but I never know what it's going to be. The #1 spiritual UFO talk show on any social media. Forget History Channel, forget the Discovery Channel, forget the Travel Channel, all that recorded whatever. You're watching live as it happens here. Whatever's going to happen, whether it be somebody who's been abducted, somebody's having beautiful contact with space people, somebody who's communicating with the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch, people that are having contact with fairies, hey Johnny, or the mer people, you're going to hear about it here. We're going to go where no other UFO talk show will ever go. We're going to bust the matrix, which they don't do. We're going to talk about disclosure, really a real disclosure, not the stuff where they're interviewing 80-year-old former military generals that are about not to be here anymore. They probably could. I'll have to check that after my show. I think they probably could if you got a link. Hey, Johnny. MW, welcome. RL Green, thank you for the follow. C Rascal 95. It was very low over our car. 2018 PDX. C Rascal, let's see. So you had a UFO sighting. Command, hey Hetty. C Rascal, I think you might be our first guest. I'm trying to catch your story. Hey Gary. So I want to go backwards on C Rascal and see if there's any other stuff they've said. C Rascal, UFO flew over me and my wife's car and we followed it. Don't remember how we got home. Okay, that's good enough for me. I'm going to, C Rascal, you're going to be, I'm inviting you on the show as a guest. I like your story. I think it's interesting. And hopefully we're going to get some conclusions out of it. So here's how my show works. If you are over 18, no kids on the show, no smoking, no vaping, no drinking, no drugs, none of that stuff. No paranormal discussion, none of that stuff. And again, we're focused right here on encounters, meaning UFO-related subject matter. So if that's what you're interested in as you're coming here, this is the place to be. But C. Rascal, hey Susan Mary, thanks for coming back in. C. Rascal, I'd like to bring you on the show. I think you have an interesting story. And I'm going to press the guest button for you. All you have to do is accept my request and you can come on audio and tell your story, not just in sentences, but on the show here. And also, I must say, I have apple cider. Yes, we do. We have apple cider. Although, this weekend we're going to have to get more apple cider. And people, okay, let's see here. C. Rascal. Dr. Spurrier, thank you for sharing the live. Hey, Mystic Maven. Hey, Karen. Hey, Barbara. Oh, I'm sure there'll be some new stuff on the show tonight. It's always new. We'll follow, though. Okay, you're going to follow? Okay. Too bad you won't come up, Sea Rascal. I'm a contactee. I have a really strong background in the subject matter, and I think people would love to hear your story. Instead of typing it, would love to have you come up here if if you feel comfortable enough. Let's see here. Hey, Karen Stevenson. Hey, Golden Bear. And let's see. Araceli, good to see you. Greetings, beautiful. Hey, Brandy, good to see you as well. Your video is new, forgive me. We'll have to take a look at it. Hey, Jersey for Life. Yeah, I don't know how you can play a video on the live. I'm still thinking maybe there's a way that videos can play live, but you can play you can record the video and post it on your own thing, and then people can look at the video. Or send me a copy of the video, and I'll take a look at it. Hey, Jennifer. Good to have you with us. Jennifer's on my show. I interviewed Jennifer just the other night, actually. And we had a great conversation with Jennifer. Oh, it's posted. Last video I posted. Okay, we'll check it out. We'll definitely check it out. Wise, welcome. How do I become more aware of encounters? I notice them easier. Wise says, how do I become more aware of encounters? I notice them easier. Can you explain what you mean, Wise? How do I become more aware of encounters? Are you having encounters? Or are you trying to have encounters? Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Good evening. Maria Jose, welcome. Eddie Santiago, welcome, Eddie. FR, welcome to the show. C. Russell, do you have any opinions on Secure Team 10? Secure Team 10 on YouTube has been around for a while. I think some of the videos I don't always focus on him or them, but some of their videos are pretty good. I post a lot of my own stuff here on TikTok. A lot of the videos I post that come through to me, most of them are 95% of the videos I post from all over the world are legit, real stuff that's happening, like within the same month or a month ago or within a couple of days. So I try to keep everything fresh. Barbara says, "Hey, why do some folks call them ETs and others can't?" Why do some folks call them ETs? Well, ETs is just a definition for extraterrestrial. And I don't know who the others that can't call them ETs, but they're essentially extraterrestrial. It's just a definition, ET, extraterrestrial intelligence. Hey, Jordan, good to see you. No, call them in. Barbara, can you explain what you mean call them in? I'm not sure what that means. Get them to show up. The reason why some people can get them to show up is because they have a connection. They have the ability to connect. Hey, Rob, they have the ability to connect with that specific group of extraterrestrials or space people. Other people are just not tuned in. It's just because they're just not ready yet or they're not tuned into it. Some people have been tuned into it for most of their adult life or even since they were a kid, and they just happen to be totally activated. Some people aren't. It's pretty much simple like that. It doesn't mean that they can't be activated or get there, but they're just not there yet. Hey, Dia, good to see you. Welcome. Jay Mania, how do you tune in? Hey, Sean, great question. So the way you tune in to the star people, the real positive people, is to do meditation. Most people in the world don't spend the time to focus on meditation because we're always thinking. We're constantly thinking about what we have to do every day. Once we stop thinking about what we supposedly have to do every day and take time to go to a mountainside or a beach where it's empty, or go on a trail somewhere or just even in your house, finding a space where it's quiet, and sit there and just meditate for 20 or 30 minutes. And what you want to do is specifically tune in to your cosmic self, because each human being has what they call the cosmic self or the higher self. The higher self, what I call the cosmic self, is your doorway to connecting with your star family. But most people don't do that. We're so wrapped up in everyday things that we don't do it. People just don't do it. And it takes time. It's not like instantaneous. So there's not a thing where you can just do it for one night and there you go. You really have to practice. I think it's just, some people can take years of practice, some people weeks, some people maybe one night. Everyone's different. But if you focus, tuning in means going within yourself and meditating and getting away from all the clutter of sound around you. That is the way you start to connect. That's the first step. If you can do the first step, hey Mimi, then you'll get to the second step. Hey Carrie79, good to see you. Yeah, you need to take time for yourself and meditate and focus on yourself. Most people don't do that. Most people never meditate and focus on themselves because they're thinking so much about everything else and everything that's going on in the world that people don't take time for themselves. That's why there's so much conflict in the world. If all the people that were conflicting with each other would take time for themselves and tune in, there wouldn't be any conflict. There'd be a harmonious energy. And we're going to have harmonious energy. That's where we're going now. But for a lot of current Earth years in this human history, we have not had a harmonious relationship on the cosmic level, and now we're starting to do it. But it takes time. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take time for people to get there. Jordan Bell, thank you. I am really amped up tonight. I always feel good, but I'm really amped up tonight. It's a Friday night. Zania, hey, how do we differentiate between paranormal activity and ET? Paranormal to me is stuff that is not cosmically related. So paranormal is things like ghostly things and things that are just not of the vibrational levels of cosmic consciousness. ET encounters is not paranormal. Space people are not paranormal. Star people are not paranormal. Light beings are not paranormal. That's all separate. Paranormal is anything that's not related to galactic or cosmic areas of consciousnness. Some people think, well, there's no difference, but there really is a difference. It's like you wouldn't want to mix tomato sauce with apple cider. I wouldn't put the apple cider and tomato sauce mixed in the same thing. It just wouldn't come out right. So what I'm saying is there's a big, big difference when people get into the paranormal stuff. I stay completely away from it. And I encourage people to do that, to stay away from it, because if you want to get into understanding the galactic consciousness and connecting with your star family, then you must allow yourself to be disciplined enough to say, nope, I don't want the paranormal involved in it. I want to just focus on uplifting my vibration to the highest cosmic levels possible. If one does that, then you'll achieve the connection to your star family. If people mix up all this other stuff, no, not good. Not good at all. I'm really very adamant about that. In my years of doing this stuff, my years of workshops, and everything I've done on my radio show, I really teach people focus on higher self. Focus on elevating yourself to the cosmic consciousness that allows you to be where our space people are, the star people, work in cosmic consciousness, work in a cosmic Christ consciousness. All that other stuff, there's other people that deal with that stuff. They want to get tangled into it. We don't do that. It's not good. But the way you can differentiate is when you have a star contact with a positive space being, it's very different than having a contact with some energy that has nothing to do with the galactic levels. You'll know the difference right away. But hopefully you won't have to have that experience. You're just going to now go jumping into the cosmic, forgetting about the paranormal, and you don't have to worry about it. Mr. Changa says we don't have a lot of time. Well, one thing that people have to do is, in a way, you're right. In some ways, we do have time. We have a year and a half. Humanity has a year and a half to get their act together. Maybe not 2 years, maybe unless they change the timeline, People really have a year and a half to get their act together. Humanity has a year and a half to accelerate their consciousness. What do I mean by that? It's time now to just get ready. It's time for people to really wake up. If people really, there are people out there say, I want to have contact, I want to do the contact, I want to have it, I want to go there. But you have to take one step at a time to get to that point. It's not instantaneous. There's a lot of stuff going down, and there's a lot of things beyond Earth that are coming here. A lot of different intergalactic activity. Every day I'm aware of it. I might not talk about it much, but I'm very aware of it. I'm very aware of, I sense the energies from the universe. When you have that sensory perception, which I do, I'm sensitive to all the galactic energy. And for me, I know people have to get ready. We do have time to get ready. We have a year and a half in Earth time. Now in space, the people from other planetary systems, they don't operate in time as we do. We operate in time, you see. So tonight, I guess I'm kind of sharing information with you. I'm always usually interviewing people, but I have a lot of information. I have plenty of information. And in between doing interviews, I will share. Until I'm doing an interview tonight with somebody, I will speak. I know people want to hear what I have to say, so I'm going to share my knowledge. My knowledge doesn't come from any books. My knowledge doesn't come from any movies or documentaries. My knowledge comes from the stars. It's downloaded. It's something that is just downloaded into my consciousness. And if it resonates with you, beautiful. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just that maybe either it doesn't resonate because you're not there at the same frequency, but you'll get there. I'm going to take a look at the things. Hey, Midnight. And feeling a consciousness shift is something changing, yes. I tune in all the time, Sean. When I'm working during the day in the 3D world, I'm still tuned in. Sometimes I have to try to shut my cosmic level off in order to work with people on the 3D level, but I'm consciously aware probably all the time. No matter where I go, I can be going into the beach, I'll look at the water and I'll look at the beauty of the sky, and I still feel a connection of consciousness. I'm always tuned in. Hey, Cheryl. Why does everyone have a star family? Yes. But not everybody understands that. Not everybody is awakened to the fact they have a star family. Some people don't even know what a star family is. And so I'll define what a star family is. A star family is, in a general sense, a family you have from another planetary system. Star family meaning that you're part of a galactic group of beings or people from another planet as a whole. The other thing is a biological cosmic family. What is that? How many people know what that means? Biological cosmic family. How many of you know what that means? I've explained it on and off before. I'll explain it again so you get used to the terminology. You have a biological family on Earth. You have a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, grandmother, grandfather, great-grandfather. On Earth, you have all those things, right? You have long-distance relatives, close relatives, or whatever. But did you know, all the viewers out there, how many of you know that you have a biological cosmic family? You do. There's the star family, or the space family, which is a general grouping of people from a different planet that you're connected to. But then there's the biological cosmic family, which is your family off planet. You have a family off planet. You might have a sister, 2 brothers, 3 brothers, a mother and a father, of course, from another planet that are spiritually advanced. Everybody has a star family, but not everybody's going to be tuned in to figure that out. Not everyone's going to understand that there's a way of connecting to that. My star family, my biological cosmic family, for those who've been following me, are on a spaceship with the Ashtar Command. My mother, my father, my two sisters, and a brother. They're all taller than I am because I'm in the human form and not as tall as they are. But in my body in stasis, stasis meaning I have a living physical human body that's taller than this physical body, that's waiting for me to come back. Now, if you don't understand about a body waiting for you, everybody has a body in stasis because everybody actually comes from the stars. In truth, everybody has a body in stasis. And I'll define stasis for people that are new to the terminology. It means that you have a body in space that is on a spaceship, a large ship that is well protected. I have a body on a spaceship that's waiting for me, that's a living body that's well protected. And so when I talk about times when I've said to people on here, or whenever I talk to people I know, I'll talk about I am human in the sense that I have human consciousness, yes. I have a consciousness of galactic consciousness. What does that mean? So I have multiple consciousness of human consciousness, Christ cosmic consciousness, which is a very high consciousness, and I'm galactically connected to the stars because I don't come from here. But I remember everything about my life now. I've been activated. And by as you become more mature, many people are becoming activated. There are people in our audience, I'm sure, that are activated, that know exactly what I'm talking about. So in terms of your question, Wise, I always like to give a deeper answer. Everybody does have a star family. And eventually, like that switch will go on and you'll say, oh, wow, I just connected with my star family. How beautiful that is. But everybody has a star family. Thank you for the question. April does paranormal yet? April stays away from the paranormal. April is completely staying away from the paranormal. And she stated before. She's not going to get into that. Before she connected with her, space family, and I did, we've all been through stuff before. Now she's strictly connected to the Ashtar Command family, a mother, a father, a siblings. She's very connected to the Ashtar Command work, and rightly so. She's very disciplined in her work. Let's see here. Hey, love Lola, good to see you. Let me see. Can you give tips on how to listen to higher self? Very good. I will definitely do it. Well, the way to listen to higher self is to turn off your brain. Now, we all have a brain. We all know the human brain likes to get in the way of things. The human brain is our biggest, if you want to put the brain aside, sometimes it's hard. The brain says, don't do this. Don't start exploring this. The brain is always kind of trying to continue to control the human consciousness, right? So the first thing is to turn off the brain. When you turn your brain off and you control the brain, it doesn't control you, then you meditate. And you say, okay, brain, you're going to sleep. I'm going to meditate for about 30 minutes. So Angie, when you meditate, that's when you can listen to your higher self. That's when higher self and you can connect. The higher self of you is the other aspect of who you are. That's the cosmic aspect. That's the doorway to the cosmic, galactic aspect, the spiritual cosmic being who you are. But again, people have to turn off the brain in order to hear their higher self, which is a part of you. It's all integrated with you. It's all you. It's just a higher aspect of you beyond the 3D consciousness. C. Rascal, did you watch the ISS cams when they were live? Once in a while, not very often. There's too many things going on for me to watch the ISS cams, but I have in the past watched recordings over the years on YouTube. Thanks for sharing the live, C. Rascal. Thank you, Zaina. So I'm definitely, taking questions and not just interviewing people. I have a lot of information to share too. Sean, do star people have contact with animals? Yes. As a matter of fact, star people on their own planets have animals and so forth, just like we do on Earth. So yeah, the star people do have contact with animals. Hey, Papa Smurf. And a lot of the animals are very, very able to sense things, communicate in their own animal language. The big grays are harmful. So the Zeta, which people call grays, The Zeta have been involved with our government for over 70 years in being given permission in the first 70 years to be able to abduct humans and do other things. So they are kind of harmful because they basically, from the Zeta Reticuli system, they destroyed their planets pretty much, and they came here to try to gain back some human emotion and DNA from the human aspect because they messed up their own planets. And they used to be very much human like we were, the Zeta at one time in their system before they messed it up. They became very advanced, but in a lower vibrational pattern. When they became advanced, they basically messed around with technologies that destroyed their worlds, and they had to go underground. And the Zeta then changed their physical form from a humanoid form looking like us to what they look like now. And they're basically beings that are, they would say they're dying off or what have you. That's why they came to Earth, to give the government Earth-based, give them technology in order to abduct men and women in order to try to get their humanity back. But it's pretty much too late because what they're doing is wrong. And so they are not so much harmful as they're going against the universal laws that are existing. Many of the Zeta that have abducted humans in the past 70 years it's being stopped, and they're being dealt with by the space people. Yeah, great question. Hey, Voice of One. Wilbur, welcome. Wilbur, I think it is. Matt to Monk. Are they friend or enemy? Can you explain what you mean? Are who friend or enemy? Can you explain more specifically what you mean? Are all humans from another planet, or some only Earthlings? I would say, and I had another question like that just a few minutes ago, there could be, out of billions of people, humans that are just from Earth, but there are quite a percentage of humans, thank you, Daniel, for the roses, that are not from here originally, that came here as starseed and have human parents, have their own families, and are here for a greater purpose than just being a human being. So there might be a small percentage, whatever that is, I don't know, of people that are strictly human, but there are a good percentage of people on the earth now that are not just human, they are consciously from another world. Are you, Courtney Meyer, can you explain, are you neither? I'm not quite sure what that question is. Courtney Meyer, probably not. Let's see here. J-Rod, good evening. Good to have you with us. Alicia, hey Alicia. Many people have had lifetimes on other planets. Absolutely true. Pizza Pete, Bigfoot something. Bigfoot, I think you mean Bigfoot extraterrestrials. So Bigfoot are, in a sense, extraterrestrial. They're very intelligent. They're Sasquatch. They react to human people when human people see them in a certain way, because many humans have tried to hunt the Bigfoots, and they're very intelligent. Our perception of who they are is completely off based on a lot of misrepresentations on these documentaries on Discovery, History, Travel Channel that have been sensationalized about the Bigfoot. We really do an injustice to who they are, and they're very, very intelligent. They have families. They can speak, although they don't speak English to the person that sees them with a weapon. They run away from humans because of the way when we've interacted with them, it's been of a nature that is not peaceful. You have an experience? Jeremiah, welcome. So for me, I had my first contact, Jeremiah, when I was a kid in the 60s. I got to see space men and women on a spaceship in my cul-de-sac growing up as a kid in a suburban neighborhood at night. And I looked out the window and the spaceship was there. The men and women were there with some young adults or young children that were in blue or light blue space outfits. They were telepathic, and they spoke to me telepathically, and I heard every word they said in my consciousness and felt their energy, which was of pure love. So that was my first contact when I was a kid. I never had that visual contact again, but that's all I needed. At one time was all I needed to understand that there's something that I wasn't from here. And after that, I would have constant sightings of what I call squadrons high in the sky at night of spaceships. And I've had close encounters with spaceships that are big. One that was as big as 2 football fields in the 1980s here in Connecticut. And it was the most amazing thing that ever happened to me when I had that sighting. So I've always had experiences. And now my experience is I'm getting ready for something even major, more important than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm looking forward to it with 4 other people in our group. And that'll be happening probably next year. And if I'm wrong about that, it'll be happening sooner. I'd love to have it happen sooner, but I believe it's going to be within a year. Thank you for the question. Hey, River Blue, good to see you. Yeah, that's true. Alicia's correct about that. Comparing to my star family, they're 7 to 8 feet tall. I'm about 5'10". So when I do meet them and I hug them, I'll be like a little kid to them. I'll be because of my height. Lynn Dean, hi friend. Hope you received video of craft. I will have to find out if I did. I've been looking on my AOL mail and I haven't seen any new video. I'll have to check my spam filter. Let's see here. Oh, wise. Absolutely. I'm here to help people, most definitely. And I try to answer all the questions. I'll answer questions here because I know a lot of things. But if I don't know anything, if I don't know something about a specific question, I'll be also honest enough to say so. Billy says, yo, that's deep to me because I got memory of another life. Hey, Billy, interesting. Billy has memory of another life. And let's see here. Hey, James Rockefeller. Let's see. Alicia says, meditation is like a muscle. You have to practice and build time up slowly. Absolutely true. Richard says, do you take any pictures or videos of any UFOs in the sky daily? No. I haven't had anything that I've been able to videotape. Nothing, no sightings. We do have an event that we're putting together for next month in August here. We have a group called the Ashtar Command CE5 program or project. We have a group that goes out and we do a meditation, an Ashtar Command meditation, we call it. And we gather, and we're going to gather to have visual contact. We're going to go to the beach. There's a beach on the shoreline here in Connecticut on the Long Island Sound that we'll be getting permission to use. And we love the energy there, and we're hoping to do some C5s, which we'll broadcast on TikTok. We're going to do live broadcasts when we do the C5. I believe everybody should see what we're doing, and we're going to let you see whatever we see. You're going to see it through the camera. That'll be coming up next month. We'll have dates set in a couple of days. We'll be making a video here promoting it, and we'll give you more information as we have it. Hey, Jersey for Life. I'm just reading people's comments. Gracie A. Barth, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Daniel, for the follow. Tara, hi to all my new friends. Good to see you. Sweet Tea, hello. Just looking, Johnny Blackwood, is Zeta binary system? The Zeta Reticuli system, I'm not sure exactly where it is to be exact in terms of the answer on that, but I have a map chart that I have on my phone here, but I'd have to look at it. Dawn, hey Dawn, sounds like our CERN people. Let's see here. With love, Pearl. I've been drawing symbols. It feels like they use it to make me remember. Interesting, Dawn. With love, Pearl. Would you like to come up and talk about that? That sounds really interesting. You've been drawing symbols. It feels like they use it to make me remember. Let me know if you want to come up. You have to be over 18. No kids on the show. No smoking, no vaping, no drugs, no drinking, no drunks, no paranormal discussion. And yeah, I think I covered most of that. Timeline. I just had an experience with entities lately. Timeline. Would you like to come up and talk about that? I just had an experience with entities lately. That sounds interesting to me. If you want to come up, Timeline, please press the multi-guest option and I'll bring you up on the show. I see a few possible guests here tonight. Timeline, would love to have you on here. Let me see if I can bring you up here without my screen going dark. Let's see what happens. I'm going to invite you, Timeline. Let's see if Timeline takes my invite request. Bring the volume up. I see some interesting comments here. With love, Pearl, if you want to come up, also let me know. I'd like to interview you as well. Don't be shy, folks. Matt Monk, the space beings. Cruz Perez says the disclosure ideology is disempowering. What do you think disclosure ideology? I didn't know there was an ideology for disclosure. Disclosure is disclosure. We either have disclosure or we don't have disclosure. I don't know that there's an ideology behind disclosure. It's just the terminology is when you disclose something, you reveal something. I don't think it's an ideology. At least I've never seen it to be that way. Tara says, are they interdimensional? Yeah, they are interdimensional, multidimensional. There's not one specific way, but that would be one of the ways would be interdimensional. No one will be able to catch Bigfoot. They have the ability to disappear and reappear. Absolutely correct. Will we live forever on the spaceship? What a question that is. That's a really good question. Put it this way, when you go back to your space body, you will live way longer than you are on Earth, on the Earth consciousness. Earth people were supposed to live a long time. Something happened way, way long ago that I don't know exactly what it was, but that shortened our lifespan in terms of the way we live on Earth. But really, we're supposed to live thousands upon thousands of years old and look to be 20 or 30. So will we live forever on the spaceship? On Ashtar Command Q&A, I'll have to ask that question. Nature's Whispers, good to see you, brother. I'm just reading people's... So our bodies are in a vat in stasis. I wouldn't say it's a vat, but where our bodies are in stasis, well protected. Our bodies are on a beautiful spaceship that is protecting our bodies. I knew about stasis many years ago with my friend Ashtar Athena, who was a writer and a former talk show host on a BBS radio out in California. And she told me years ago that we have bodies in stasis, that our bodies float, and then when we come back into our bodies, we wake up. It is exciting times, Alicia. Absolutely correct. Ariel says, Commander, when we pass, does our soul go up to the starship? My answer would be an absolute yes if you are a person that is a starseed that came into the human form. As I will tell people, there is no such thing as death. Death is an illusion. It's a terminology created on Earth. But those that are from the stars who are in human form here to have the experience of human life, when you leave your body here, you go back into the body on the ship that's in stasis. That point, you wake up you're on the spaceship, and you have a choice to either come back, have another human life in the future, or to actually continue your life in your true body, which is your space body, your human space body on that ship. So you do have absolute choices. When you decide to make that choice, that will be up to the individual. Great question. Can you tell us more about the event in terms of next month or the event of contact, Angie? Let's see, Jed, space children. Jed, do you have a question about space children, or do you? I'm just reading comments right now. Cruz Perez, why does humanity need a savior? Humanity is not going to get a savior. Where'd you hear that? Why don't we save our collective as ourselves? So there is no savior. We are connected to the stars. We're not separate. We just don't remember that we are connected to the stars. We come from other planetary systems. We're having a human experience, and yes, we need to take responsibility, stewards of our own planet. But the star people are supposed to come back because it's time. These are a cosmic family. They're supposed to come back, and they should come back. And we should look at them as equals. They want to be looked at as not a savior. They want to be looked at as our brothers and sisters of light. They might be more advanced. They might be spiritually more in tune. But no, humanity is not getting any saviors. There's not going to be any saviors, nor should there be. But there will be a reunion and a reconnection to our star family, which I absolutely 1,000% support. We've been disconnected for too long. There's no more excuses about connections. There are people out there that would like not to see a connection happen at any time soon. There are people out there that don't want the star people to come here. There are people out there, I've met them. They want us to just go about our human life and, do what we do, but we're connected to the universe. We can't disconnect ourselves from the universe. We can't be disconnected. Even if we tried, we couldn't do it. We can't be isolated from the universe because we're part of it. I want to be part of something, not isolated from it. How many of you want to be a part of something and not separated? On this planet, we separate everything. We put everything in boxes. We separate every little thing. That's got to stop. We got to stop separating things. We got to get out of ourselves and look at the bigger picture. And you're right. There's no savior. There never will be. People that think there's some savior coming, there are no saviors coming. Our star family, our space family, meaning the galactic spiritual beings of light, are here to reunite with us. These are our brothers and sisters. These are the people that before we came to Earth, we were around. When we got to Earth, we forgot we came from space because we had a human experience. We left out our spirit experience from the stars, right? When you separate your experience, once you start remembering things and you start remembering that, wait a minute, I might be human, but I came from somewhere else. I came from the stars. You can't negate that. People have to integrate that. The one thing I've learned as I become more conscious, I integrated my human level of consciousness with my galactic level of consciousness, with my Christed level of consciousness. When you can integrate everything, that's it. And yes, I've said it before, we need to be good stewards of our planet. We need to take care of this Earth, the Mother Earth. Absolutely. Our space family will help us, but they're not going to do it for us. I've said it before. When contact happens, the space people aren't going to clean up our seas, our air. We have to do that. They will help us learn things, but we have to be the ones that do the work. Absolutely. Good question there, Perez. And of course, my cat, she's meowing. She has to start meowing during the show. Her name is Missy. If you hear a meow, that's my cat. Lily says Montauk. Lily, what's your question regarding Montauk? And I'm listening to the cat, and she will eventually calm down. I'm slowly going through Amazing times we live in. Absolutely, nature. Is April going to C5? Jordan says, I'm not sure yet. I'll talk to her privately. We're going to be doing something in September too. So I'll be talking to her about that. We did do a C5 a couple of months ago. What's going on? My cat's talking. Give me a second here. I got to find out what the cat wants. I'll be right back, folks, and I'll answer more of your questions. Don't go anywhere. What do you want? What do you like? Okay, so I did the good thing. I gave Missy the cat, the galactic cat. I gave her some cat treats. Hopefully, now that I gave her cat treats, she will be not mowing. So I'm going to get back to your questions here. So we are having a C5 in August, and we're going to do one in September in Connecticut. Kim Just says, who tries the spaceship? Can you explain what you mean by who tries the spaceship? I'm not sure what that means. Lupita, good evening. Jennifer, hey Jennifer, I also have memories of another life. Many actually, I believe it. I do believe it. Morton B. Me says, are Bigfoot the same as space people? They're different. The Bigfoot are interdimensional beings. That's why they can disappear and appear at will. They're very highly intelligent, although if you were watching documentaries on the TV cable channels, all you see is how people they'll have a stone thrown at them by a Bigfoot, they're sitting fishing or something, and the Bigfoot makes a big sound. But the Bigfoot are highly intelligent. Team Bracelet, thank you for the Team Bracelet. I appreciate that. Billy Mayu, because I got them. Billy Mayu, let's see here. I'm not sure what that means. I'm just trying to read some of these comments. Who drives the saucers? The spaceships are actually operated by the space people. Some of the spaceships of the spiritual beings of light, the spaceships would be created by consciousness collectively. So some of the spiritual worlds can create spaceships just by consciousness, just by thought. Let's see here. Hey, Rita. I am trying to catch up to all my comments here. I'm slowly catching up with some of the stuff. Let's see here. Does our souls go up to the starship once we pass in our bodies? So when we leave our physical human body, great question. Our body is in stasis. Our space body is on a spaceship in stasis. It's waiting for us. When we leave this physical body, let's say we decide to leave this body permanently and we're whatever amount of Earth years old, we go back into our physical space body that's in stasis. Gerard says, how do we overcome the G-force from our aircraft? Good question. And I'm not sure I know the answer of how we can overcome it, but I think we don't have to worry about G-forces when we're in our space body. We're in a different kind of spaceship. The ships are more different than the Earth-based pencil-type rockets. So we won't be worrying about Space Force. You won't feel a thing in a spaceship from another planet. You actually don't even feel anything. It just feels very relaxed. There's no force or anything. Everything's pretty, the way I understand it, it just feels like you're just not feeling any force whatsoever. It's just very different. But in terms of our own Earth-based craft, I think just because of the way we use spacecraft to go into space locally. And the G-force and all that stuff. We're just not advanced enough to know how our space people do what they do. Asalia, I think Araceli says through portals. Well, there are galactic portals if you're thinking about how we travel from different places. There are wormholes and also galactic portals. Will the Earth, Camden says, will the Earth itself raise in vibration? The Earth is already, 30 years later, I can tell you the vibration of the planet is way, way higher than it was 30 years ago. We're at such a high state now of vibration. That is part of the reason why people are seeing a lot of the spaceships from off planet, because of the vibration of the Earth. If you were to take a look historically at the vibration of the planet 30 years ago, it was a lot lower. The vibration of the planet now is way higher. A lot of people in my audience will tell you that they're also feeling a change of vibration, much, much higher. Many people are feeling the energy shift within their own bodies. That is a vibrational shift, a planetary shift that's affecting each and every one of you. You know, and not just this Earth, every planet in our solar system is vibrating even higher than it was 30 years ago in Earth time. Even in our universe, every solar system, every galaxy, everybody's vibrating that we don't even know them. They're all vibrating at a higher level of vibration. Very good question. Billy Mayu, can you tell me who they are? I think you're talking about beings that you're connected with. They tell me, a long time they tell me. Let's see here. Let's see. Lovola says, sounds like people who are only Earthlings wouldn't have a space body. Well, we're all Earthlings. We're all here on Earth. We're all actually Earthlings. We're human beings who are Earthlings. But Earthlings do have space bodies. It's just that we're having an Earth-based experience. Now, the percentage of Earthlings that are from other worlds who are starseed, I can't tell you that. You know, there's no way of knowing how many there are, but there are quite a few more now than there were 30 years ago. So Gibby says, I astral projected a lot as a kid. Billy Mayu says, I believe all you're saying, because on God's time, there is no time, I think you're saying. And she says, contact, we are our own savior. We are our one consciousness. Nature, thank you. You're doing such important work, Commander. I appreciate your brother. I appreciate you too, brother. Do you believe in a galactic war? I believe there have been what they call galactic wars. The only reason I now believe that there have been galactic conflicts, what we call wars, between the lower vibrational ETs who are working with our government against the Christed beings of light. So right now, for example, brothers and sisters, there have been what I consider efforts by our own Earth-based government, secret government, working with negative ETs to try to stop contact from happening. And I keep sensing they want to try to stop the ultimate contact from happening. Let me put it this way. A galactic war wouldn't be the same as an Earth-based war, like where people are invading countries and, bombs are going off and all the stuff that we've known in Earth history. They're quite different, and they might be all different. But I do think there's a last-ditch effort by the negative ETs and our governments to try to prevent the contact of positive contact from happening. They want to keep everything concealed. They want to keep people asleep. They want to keep billions and billions of humans asleep. And they won't be able to do it if I have anything to say about it. And this show has anything to say about it. We will not allow them to stop contact. I will not allow it, personally. Mark Allen. I'll bring Mark Allen up here. He was a recent guest on our show, and hopefully my screen sees. And it's staying bright. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you again, and welcome back.
You know, you started talking about astral projection, and wow, we didn't have this conversation.
Right, we didn't.
So, I wanted to throw by a crazy story. This happened when I was about 16 years old. Obviously, I'm 55 now, so it was a long time ago. But I astral projected, and I was scared crapless. Okay. And I just remember trying to fight to get back inside my body because I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And I didn't understand what the heck it was. I was never able to do it again. I think I aligned myself somehow mentally in the way that I was lying directly on my back on the floor. I was actually babysitting. At that time was my two nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
And to make a long story short, I just remember trying to get back into my body. And it was just a crazy experience. And I really want to hear your take on astral projection. That's what I really wanted to ask you about.
Great question. And I do remember myself astral projecting. So let me share a story. This is a
Yeah,
great
sure. Go
question.
ahead.
There's been things, not even astral projecting. I have never really told this story. A couple of years ago, 10 years ago, maybe 15, I'd be driving in Connecticut on an interstate highway, right? I'm driving. I'm
Okay.
going somewhere. I'm consciously driving. All of a sudden, I'm not in the car anymore. I'm off planet. I see I'm somewhere else in another place, and I'm saying, "Oh, this is not good. Who's driving my car? I can't. I'm on an interstate highway system. What's happening here?" And I was totally somewhere else, folks. I went somewhere else. It just happened, and I'm saying I have to get back to the car. Where am I? And so when it happened, I started getting kind of freaked out over it because I didn't know, how did this happen? How did I leave my car and be here at someplace else? Then I finally, I felt like I was struggling to get back to Earth. I got back to the car, and I was in the car, and the car was fine on the highway, and I came back out of it, and it's like my eyes opened up and I was perfectly safe, like I was protected, but I had to experience that. And what happened was, it would start happening constantly, like that, constantly every day. But whenever I'd go somewhere, or sometimes even when I would go to sleep at night, I'd project somewhere else, and then I said, well, I got to get back in bed into my body. What's going on here? And this was like maybe 10, 15 years ago when this had happened kind of constantly.
Okay.
And then I finally realized what was happening is that my body, my inner self, was leaving my physical body, going off planet, and then I would come back. In some cases, it was like I was there, I was physically in that room, and it's like, as I am sitting here talking to you, I was in somewhere else in a room, and I had to get back to where I was. So I certainly can concur that I've also had the experiences of what you call astral projecting, off planet, and then trying to come back to my physical realm where I was physically in the car driving on the interstate, or in the house or something.
What do you think brings on astral projection? What is your theory?
My theory, and then first time anyone's ever asked me that, I think that we naturally have a lot of abilities that are innate in us as physical beings, humans, that we have abilities that came from the stars, and sometimes they get activated and we do things, and then we say, what's going on here? What's this? Why is this happening? Wait, I don't understand. This is kind of freaking me out, because in truth, we really are galactic human beings, but we are so programmed and from our childhood that we've forgotten that we have all these abilities that are really still in us. They are just not activated all the time.
I would love to, see in the comments how many other people have astral projected because I have talked to so many people that this has happened to. And
Yeah.
it scares a lot of people, and it scared the living crap out of me because I didn't understand what was going on, like I
Hmm.
said.
Hmm.
And you probably, the way that you were stating, you felt the same way.
Yeah, I did. I mean, initially, it hasn't happened to me when I'm driving the car. I don't have that experience anymore,
Okay.
and in many ways, I thank God for that, because I don't want to. If I'm gonna have the experience, if I'm on a beach or not driving somewhere, I'm fine. But when I'm driving and I had the experience, I kind of freaked out when it first happened because I
Yeah.
didn't understand why did I call it bilocation. So there's a definition if people have never heard the word bilocation. That's sort of maybe astral projecting, but it's a little bit different. I bilocated from one place to another place, and then I had to bilocate back to the original place. Bilocation.
Wow. Yeah, we do more research on these type of subjects, and man, we could have discussions days upon days about this subject, and man, it's just never ending.
Yeah, it's never
Wow,
ending, and that how how beautiful is that sentence? It's never ending. It really
it's
is
never
never ending.
right. Yeah, that's
It is
true.
never ending.
It's true. But anyway, I
You
just
know.
wanted to drop in and say hi, man. I really appreciate you, and I'm going to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming back on, Mark.
Yeah, man, no problem. Have a good day. Have a good night.
You too.
Uh,
Great question, folks. Great question. Let me bring Mark down. So you're watching Encounters. This is a show that's out of this world. This is the number one spiritual UFO show on social media. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. I'm also the man from Mars, here to bust your matrix, bust the matrix on the planet, bust every matrix. I don't care what the matrix is. I will bust it. Guaranteed. And also, I'm very amped up tonight. Plus, not only that, I got a full glass of apple cider. So there you go. And the apple cider is good. And my cat, I gave her some treats, and now she's fine. You have to listen to your cat when she speaks or he speaks. You got to know what they want. And the cat went right into the kitchen, then walks away from me, and I give her cat treats, and she was perfectly fine. You can't beat that. Okay, 64. Explain how Greys care about humans but allow suffering. The Zeta, which you call Greys, don't care about humans. What the Zeta have done is abduct humans because they only care about themselves, because their planets in the Zeta Reticuli system are dying planets. So they don't have a care about humans. They want to use the humans to integrate our DNA to their DNA in order to not die out. And that's the reason why the Zeta, over 70 years, with the blessings of our Earth-based government, were allowed to do what they did. And the Zeta gave our government reverse engineered spaceship technology in order to let the Zeta do whatever they want. People have being abducted and planted with things from the Zeta was to basically the Zeta wanted to integrate their genetics with our genetics, and by doing so, keep their race going. That's why but the Zeta don't care about us. But our star family does. 64-bit. There's a thing called the Ashtar Command, which cares about humanity, which are humans from other planetary worlds, the spiritual beings of light, the higher vibrations of light. They care about us, but the Zeta were working with our government and being able to do whatever they want. And we're not here to talk about Palestine or anything else. So please refrain from any other non-related stuff on Encounters. Okay, I'm taking 64-bit kid out. I don't think they're going in a direction. I took them out. They're gone. I'm pretty hep to what's happening. I saw what's going on there. Yeah, I took that troll out. They're gone. Because I have moderators, because I'm host of the show, I can knock these people out in 2 seconds. "64-bit, this is not the place for it. You're out of here, man." I think I got them out of here, hopefully. Let me see where I am now. Are they still here? I think I got them out. Yeah, I was just looking at previous. Yeah, we got them out. I was looking at earlier comments. Are the Greys related to cancer? The Zeta, are they related to cancer? I don't think so. In what way? Welcome, Nicole. Let's see. Arcella says, my ring finger have no lines, so they look a little crooked. Cats can be so demanding. Yes, my cat is not demanding anymore because I gave her treats. Just to let people know, I'm enjoying all your questions. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. And if you wish to be a guest and you have something that is real, meaning if you've had encounters with space people, if you've been abducted by ETs, if you've had contact with Bigfoot or Sasquatch, mer people, fairies, if you're studied or understand the things regarding the Agartha network, which is the inner civilizations within our Earth, all these things that we deal with. You're welcome to join us on the show. You have to be over 18, no cursing, no foul language, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, nothing like that on the show, no paranormal discussion as well. So we always welcome interviews. And again, tonight, like I said, I have a wealth of knowledge and I'm answering a lot of questions tonight, and I'm happy to do it. Yeah, no cursing too, that's correct. But I welcome all the new people to the show. Drinking alcohol like you are, if you consider apple cider alcohol, Judy McLean, do we astral project in our dreams? Yes, you can. And so, Andy, you have a question about an encounter? Is it an encounter that, Andy, you had yourself, an encounter? And if it is, I'll bring you up here and we can talk about it, Andy. Please share and like. We're at 49.2. When you press on my profile, it brings numbers up on the top of the screen. We're at 49.3. If everybody does that, we'll get up to 100,000, which is the goal tonight. 100,000 likes. Everybody follow. Laugh. I'm trying to. Let's see. So let's see what Andy says here. And can you tell me a little bit about the encounter, Andy? Hey, Kayla. Welcome to the show. Larry Bearden, welcome. Mark Hatch, welcome to our show. Tom, I see all these new people. Chip Atkins, Michael, Papo, welcome to our show, Papo. This is Encounters. This is just for people that don't know what they're watching. Just to be clear, this is a show about UFOs, ETs, space people, galactic areas. So if you have any idea what we're about, or if you don't have any idea what we're about, I'm just giving you a background of the show here so you actually will know what you're getting into. Because you come here, we're in the galactic space continuum. Yeah, I met Peter Robbins at a UFO conference about 15 years ago, who wrote the book at Eastgate. And I think they had some extraordinary experiences at that Air Force base. They had encounters that were extraordinary and multiple craft. And also, I think there was probably some physical encounters as well. That was the most amazing story in England. I am very familiar with it. Did he sign the book? I don't remember. I still have the book somewhere. But Peter Robbins was a very, very nice person. We talked for a long time. But I have met him. And yeah. Tara, thank you for the W. Gina, welcome to our show. So tonight the commander seems to be in interviewing mode, or not interviewing mode. It seems to be in answering questions mode tonight, which is fine for me. I mean, I'm always interviewing people. You never get to ask me questions, but I have a lot of knowledge and I'm happy to answer your questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll be honest enough to tell you I don't know, but I'll answer your questions. Also, if you wish to be a guest, I'm very interested to know, and I haven't gone to that point tonight, how many people out there around the world are having physical contact? Be straight honest. And Andy, okay, so Andy, you would love answers. Let me go back to Andy a little bit here. counterclockwise, translucent, and electric blue. Andy, we're going to bring you up here. Whoops. We're going to bring you up here and see if we can get more in depth with what happened here. So let's go here. And I want my screen to stay bright. We're going to try to bring Andy up here without my screen going crazy here. Stay bright, please. Please stay bright. I asked the Space Command to keep my technology working. Hey, Andy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
We're glad to have you with us. Whereabouts are you?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, great. Nice to have you with us on the most popular UFO spiritual talk show. Tell us, with sentences, it's hard for me to understand stuff. That's why I love interviewing people. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, when things started happening and what's going on?
Sure. So I'm 35. This happened probably 3 years ago. It was October. It's like the week before Halloween. And I was walking my dog. It was first thing in the morning, probably like the sun just came up. And I thought I was witnessing like a weather, like the Weather Channel people were doing like an experiment. I saw shoot out of this field these blue discs, and they started hovering right across the road from me, and I was watching it, and then I could see there was nothing mechanical on them, and then one actually came up to me, and that's when I saw they were spinning like a vortex, almost like counterclockwise. They were translucent; I could see through them, but they were also electric blue. I put my finger out to kind of to touch it, but it like concaved back. It wouldn't let me touch it. But there was many of them. And then like that morning, well, ever since that day, it's kind of crazy. Just my sights. I don't see things now, but at first I thought it was all in my head. Like, I mean, I have photos. You can't see them in the photo, but they're static in a lot of the photos. But from that day on, like everything I could see, like life, like clouds, trees, bushes, everything had like an essence. I don't know how to describe it. It's just very.
Would you say like an electrical, like not a psychedelic, lack of a better word, more vibrant?
Yeah, like the blue, the image of the UFO above you or in your background, like that.
Yeah.
That bright blue color.
Yeah.
Right there, like that. Like I call that like electric blue. Like
Yeah, electric blue. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. And now I'm actually trying to get images of what I read your energy and I try to get images of what you're telling me. And when you say you tried to touch them, were they at ground level? Can you explain that a little bit more in detail for our audience?
Yeah. So when they were hovering above the ground, they were probably like 2 or 3 feet above the ground. Then it came up. I'm like 5'8", so it came up to my face, chest height.
Yeah.
And there was like as the sun was coming up more. I mean, I saw probably like 5 of them shoot out of the field originally, and they were hovering above the ground.
Wow.
Then by the end of it, I'm trying to remember. There was way more. They were like everywhere, just shooting around the sky. And and I don't know if like since that day I've been trying to find answers, and I don't know if it was like an extra dimensional being, something that we can't see really, but somehow.
Can you tell me? I'm really reading into the energy field. That's what I do on a galactic level in my consciousness. So they were shooting out. Were they shooting out from the ground level into space?
No, they shot out one at a time, right behind another, and then just went right across the road to where I was and hovering above this field. It wasn't really a field. There was a building being built, but it was like a cleared lot, and but yeah, I thought I was witnessing like a weather experiment.
Hmm.
So I just sat there and watched it, and then I'm like, how is nobody else out here?
Yeah, it was really meant for you. When I hear things like this, it's meant for you to have the experience with them. I don't get anything negative about it at all. I think
Yeah, I don't.
uh, not at all. You were dealing with some very, very high vibrational energy. What I'm trying to piece answers together right now as you're asking me these and sharing that. I appreciate the sharing because I'm going to get you some answers at some point. What I do get is, um, hmm, I believe that they were an intelligence of some sort. Did you feel anything from these the bluish lights? Did you feel like a sense of communications or a sense of connection?
Um, no, I don't think not at that time. But
Yeah,
again,
right.
after that experience, a weird. I mean, I feel everything.
Something else something else happened, didn't
Yeah, I mean, it was the week of Halloween too, and I don't
it?
know. Like I saw that same week. I saw like a spirit of two boys in the wind, and I'm not trying to even go down that route, but like
Right, right.
I could just see things differently, and it
Your
lasted
your con your
for months.
for months. Your consciousness was opened up, correct?
Yes.
So these blue radiant lights, which are definitely, I believe, from what you're telling me, they are definitely non-terrestrial in origin. They are definitely, as I'm reading it more, and I close my eyes to get a very big image. I believe they came from some place that was much larger than them. If that makes sense to you, like you wouldn't have seen it, but they come from a source. Each
Hmm.
one of these radiant blue lights come from a main source, and I believe most likely I'm seeing images of spaceships as I close my eyes now. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That come from these ships that are totally cloaked uh, somewhere when it was happening above you in, you say, Myrtle Beach?
Yes.
Yeah, over the ocean. They come from, hmm, they came from a place over the ocean. I'm getting images of a couple of, actually a few ships. And I also get in my consciousness, uh, they were there to assist you in some way or activate you in some way, which I think happened, correct?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, don't be hesitant to say so. You already, I can tell you without full confidence, don't worry about it. You have become activated. That's why you were able to be consciously different and see things that you normally wouldn't see. Matter of fact, your consciousness is at a level, if you allow it to be, within yourself, you have the ability to connect with your star family. Now you don't
Interesting.
have to know who they are, and that's okay. And you probably don't even know who they are. I don't even know who they are. But
Hmm.
I do know that you have full activation within your own physical body and your consciousness now. So I'm glad you're here to talk to me because I want to help you out a little bit here.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, absolutely. So you live in an area, Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is within the Bermuda Triangle. Have you heard of the Bermuda Triangle, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Then I'm going to close my eyes here for a minute. When I close my eyes, folks, I'm not sleeping, so don't worry about the host sleeping on the show. I get information that way. So give me a moment. So in that region, what is on the Bermuda Triangle goes up into the north, into the Carolinas. We are Myrtle Beach, back into the Atlantic, like a triangular. That's also a galactic level, or what they call a galactic portal, where coming into Earth and going in and out of this frequency or dimension, so to speak.
Hmm.
So they are interesting. They are in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. They actually have a base in the ocean in the Atlantic. How did I know this? I just got the information just now for you. There's a base in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast, all the way out, way beyond the shoreline of where you are, Myrtle Beach. But there is a base where the space people come from. These blue radiant translucent lights come from a ship that is from the inner Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It came from the inner Earth. So I'm getting information right as I'm like sitting here talking to you. I'm getting this conscious, when I start getting like this, I just like, I've got to get the information to you. They
Yeah.
come from the inner Earth. There's an entrance in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of the U.S., deep in the ocean where they come from. So that's why I was getting images of ships cloaked above the water.
And
yes.
I mean, I've seen UFOs over the ocean for years.
Yes.
There was one, I even called 911 once.
Mm-hmm.
There was, this is going back like 10 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
But like these orbs appeared in the sky, and I was headed to a restaurant with a friend, and everybody was in the parking lot looking at them, and one of them started spewing flames out of the back of it, and I didn't know what it looked like a plane on fire, so I called 911 and reported it.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of them, they just stopped moving and like just vanished one at that was the very first time I've ever.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was still in college.
You were still in college?
That was probably like 2011.
Okay.
Between 2010 and 2012.
Yeah. You've had a lot of experiences, but this one that you're talking about, I'm still getting information coming in, and when I get this way, I just like my consciousness is like going nuts right now. Yeah, it's off the ocean, off the Atlantic. There's a base. Let me see if I can figure this out for a moment. About 35 miles to the southeast of Myrtle Beach in the ocean, and very, very deep into the ocean, there is an entrance, and there's a space base there.
Interesting.
Yes, there's a space base there. You can connect with these beings are beings of light, and you can reconnect with them, but it's going to take time. You'll need to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain something to you. I'm also connected with, have you watched my show before, or is this the first time?
I've seen it one other time.
Okay.
I'm kind of new.
So, I'm glad to have you here, and you're now a friend of the show, and there's a lot of beautiful people here, so you're not alone anymore.
Thank you.
One of the things I like to do for you is I like to bring a spaceship over your location. I am with the Ashtar Command. I talk about being a starseed. So I am human, but I'm more than just a human being. I'm inhuman, but I'm also a space being, consciously speaking, that works within my realm with the Ashtar Command, which I'm a part of before I came to Earth. So I'm fully activated. That's why I'm able to do what I do. I've been doing radio for 21 years. I've been a contactee since I was a kid, and I'd like to do something for you that's going to be very helpful to you, if you'll let me.
I would love you to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a moment. I'm going to switch my consciousness now, just like in 2 seconds, like turning a channel on a cable channel.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to send a ship over to your location. We're going to send 5 of our space people into your location, Myrtle Beach. When they come into your room, they're about 7-8 feet tall. You won't see them. They are physical, spiritual beings, men and women that are from the command. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to breathe in and breathe out of your nostril a couple of times until you're physically and mentally relaxed. And when you are relaxed, let me know.
I'm relaxed.
Okay, good. You sound relaxed. Good. So right now, I would like the 5 space people they now have come onto the ground level of your property to please go into his house. They can go right through the structures of your walls. They'll what they call, they break down the molecular structure of your solid wall, and they are now coming into your room. Give me a moment. In a moment, you will feel a different energy vibration in your room, which will be it'll be a very high frequency, a loving vibration. Keep your eyes closed, please. Of the 5, there are 3 men and 2 women. Of the women, they're all medical people from a very different. The terminology we use off planet when we say medical is very different than Earth-based doctors. These people are highly able to activate the cellular structure within the human body and also elevate the human consciousness. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we're going to have happen now is the woman is going to touch your top of your head. When she touches it, you will please let him know you're there. She's going to be activating your consciousness to a higher level. When she touches it, she'll be the first one to work with you. And I'm going to ask her, she knows what she's doing, but can you please touch the top of his head to let him know that you're there?
I don't know if this is in my. I can feel like a pressure above my head. I don't know if.
Yes, that's the woman. She's touching your head right now as we speak. Understand? She's going to activate your consciousness and realign things so you're not going to be feeling hesitant. Because as I was speaking to you earlier, you knew all these things, but there's also your human consciousness, which was like hesitant to go forward. You're not going to have any hesitation anymore. You're going to be completely centered when we're finished. The woman is now doing what she's doing. She's working on your consciousness. The other person will touch your neck. It seems like that. I'm starting to learn things myself here. Evidently, the neck has an opening to it to the whole alignment of the body, physical body. I would like the other woman to touch your neck, and please relax. When she please let him know you're there. To touch his neck, please. When she does, then tell me. Take your time, relax.
Okay.
Do you feel it?
Well, a muscle in my arm just twitched. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Can you please, the other space woman, touch his neck, the back of his neck, please? And they can see what I'm doing. Touch his neck so he knows you're there. Relax. Relax. Let go. Relax. How do you feel?
I feel relaxed.
Good. Did you feel anything around the back end of your neck area?
No.
That's okay. The other space person and the other one touched the right shoulder, the other one touched the left shoulder, please. Just so he's able to know you're there, helping him. Keep your eyes closed and relax.
I can feel something like a pressure.
Yes, they're touching your right and left shoulder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. I'm also very conscious. And Flex J, no more joking. That we have somebody here. Okay, thank you for the roses. Let me just do this here. They're going to work on your cellular structure, on the etheric body right now. The other ones are going to amp up the level of energy in your room, in your home. So they're going through each room to amp up the frequencies. It's just preparing the energy in your room, so when you do have future contact, you're going to have some beautiful contact at some point.
Amazing.
The other woman is going to touch your forehead. So can you please touch his forehead, please, and do some activation work on that other part of consciousness? So I'm touching my forehead, but they know what they're doing. I can see a picture of the woman that she's like visibly in my consciousness. Very beautiful. She has kind of off blonde hair, so to speak. You feel something like a warmth around your forehead, let me know.
I do, not a warmth, but like, it's weird. It's like a pressure.
Yes. Yes, that's fine. You feel pressure. That's because they are transferred, they're touching your forehead and you're feeling that pressure of that hand.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to work on your consciousness right now again. They're working on alignment of your consciousness within your brain so that you have no more fear. There was a little bit, it's not so much fear, it was a hesitancy, because on the human level, the human consciousness is hesitant, but on an inner level, you do know things that are true to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the things that's going to happen now as we complete the process, I'm going to ask them to stay with you for the weekend. If you don't mind, they're very beautiful people. They're men and women. What they're going to do is still work with you. There's still work to be done. Some people take a little bit longer than others, I find, in doing this work. But by the time they are finished, they will leave in Earth time. They will leave Sunday morning, like what you call breakfast time. They will stay with you through Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Okay.
And they're going to be with you. They will communicate. They can speak to you telepathically, so to speak. So when they communicate, the man or the woman, you will hear them through your consciousness. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And when they speak with you, Andy, you can talk to them through your telepathic consciousness, which you have the ability to do. They will speak not in words like we speak here. They will speak through telepathy. You'll be communicating with the space people through your consciousness that are in your house right now. So I want to do one more thing for you as a gift. And I am working my Ashtar Command consciousness at the moment. I want you to say this, and this is always something I do when I finish my conversation with helping people, no matter what the level of help is. I want you to say, I am a Christed conscious being of light.
I'm a Christed conscious being of light.
And I will be able to communicate with my star family soon.
And I will be able to communicate with my star family soon.
Because I am a conscious, Christed star being of light.
Because I am a Christed conscious star being of light.
Very beautiful, Andy. Very beautiful. You sound much more relaxed. How do you feel?
I feel relaxed.
Yeah, you're doing good, man. You're doing very good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Thank you for all that, everything. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you, man. You know, the command loves you. I love you. You know, I'm glad you came up here. You're a beautiful being of light, and you have nothing to be you have nothing to be afraid of anymore. They're going to help you. They'll be working with you through Sunday morning. They'll be leaving. And I think one of them will actually communicate with you. One of them might reveal themselves to you slightly, the physical form Again, they're about 7-8 feet tall, the space people, the men and women. So they will, one of them said, before they leave, as a gift to you, they will kind of reveal themselves from their cloaked form, so you may see them.
Okay.
Okay, so they're gonna probably do that. That's what I get, and so yeah, you're a blessing, and I thank you for being here.
All right. I thank you for that gift.
Oh, hey, my gifts to you and to the planet are unconditional. So yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
All right. Take care.
Okay, Andy, I'm going to let you down here. Thank you for coming up, brother. And let me just do this here. And then this is really interesting. Let's see if I can. Hey, forgive me. How are you?
Hey, I got the invite from you, but I wasn't listening for a couple minutes.
But you know what? I'm glad you're here. But you know the weird thing is, and people, I'm telling you, this is what happens. I didn't touch any buttons at all on my phone.
well, the whole time that you were talking with Andy, I was doing the meditation with you, and I swear
good.
I got so relaxed.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I think the Ashtar Command had you come up because I didn't. If I had my hands up right now, when you came up, I had Andy on. You're all set. Say, who's popping up on my screen? Now, this is not the first time this has happened, people. But I'm glad you're here.
But it's
Wow,
funny because I just saw the 2 UAPs that I posted on my video today, and it's just like it's been ramping up for me, the seeing them and being so, I've been welcoming them, and there's no fear, and I'm just super excited, and it's like the second time this week I've seen them, you know. So it's super
amazing.
exciting time to be alive.
It is.
And I can't wait for real contact. I can't wait till it's a safe place for them, and the government stops messing around and messing around with all of that.
I got a feeling that Command, my space family, had you come up here. They actually worked my telephone, and so I'm actually glad you came up because obviously there was a reason why you're supposed to come up. Arlene T says you invited me. That's interesting. Arlene, we'll bring you up. I'm not sure what's going on, but my phone. I've had nights where people have come up on my live without I'm answering some questions here. I have not touched the screen, so I have a feeling my space family's saying you got to have these people up or whatever. It's very interesting what's happening here. So I do see you, Arlene, and good evening, by the way.
By the way,
yes.
One more thing. When Andy was talking about what he saw, like the first thing that I got was Octurians. Is that something that resonated with you?
It could be. It could very well be, but I definitely got that there was a base in the ocean off the coast, about 35 miles to the southeast. And as soon as I got that information, my consciousness was going nuts. I felt like I was being activated with information, and that happens. So that is possible.
Okay.
It is possible, But hey, I'm going to take a look at your video. You can send it to me through Messenger or email me at my email address. I'll look at it too.
Yeah, I tagged you in it. I couldn't believe it because somebody else caught the same 2 UAPs like last week, and then I saw them last week, and they're like hovering over the highway. Like in the video you can't see, but there's actually I-80 and 355. I'm in Illinois, close to Homer Glen. And I don't know, they're like surveilling the highway. I think they're honestly like trying to see where we are consciously.
And you physically saw this too, correct?
Correct. And
now, let me
there's
ask
a
you a
video.
question. Then when you saw it, did you feel any energy coming from the spaceships?
I didn't. It was very neutral. I feel like they're the energy that I got is they're surveilling where we are at consciously on a conscious level.
Interesting. Yeah, if you see it again, I want you to focus on telepathy when you see it and ask a question and within saying, "Who are you? Where are you from?"
Okay.
I bet you will get an answer.
I definitely will do that. I was just so excited that I actually pulled out my phone in time this time.
Wow.
So I wasn't
That's pretty
thinking.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
wasn't, yeah. So I was like, oh, I gotta get this on camera finally, you know. But next time I'm gonna try to tap in telepathically.
Yeah, no, you have the ability to be telepathic. When something like that happens, it takes you off guard. You're excited. You get the video, but now that you got the video, see, I believe it can happen again. I just
Oh
think you
yeah.
need
I
to.
mean, this is the
If,
third time in the past 3 months.
well, there must be a reason why you're seeing them. But and if other people have seen them, maybe, but you're seeing them for a specific reason, which goes back to the idea of what I was saying. If you're having the visual contact of those spaceships, then there are physical beings on those ships that know you're watching them, you're videotaping them. The next step is to initiate some sort of mental contact through telepathy.
Right.
I think that's your next step.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice.
Yeah, absolutely. I would do that. Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you coming on here. I mean, I didn't do anything, but I'm very happy you came on here. If the command brought you up on my phone, they can do that, So I appreciate it.
Well, star seeds and light workers unite. We're here on a mission. We're raising the consciousness of the earth. We're going to work together. We're going to keep on going.
Absolutely. That's a good way. I can make a song out of that someday, and maybe I'll sing something. Not tonight, but I will sing. And people know me to sing songs. I will think of something to sing regarding that. Like, light workers are here today. We're not going away. No, I'm not going to start going there. But
I love it. We aren't, because you kill me, I'm coming back. I'm coming back and I'm coming back.
And I'm coming on the cosmic track. So watch out, here I come. Any station, I will be one. When I come to Earth, you'll see that I'm from the space and sea. I'm not going to go there now. I'll stop. Anyway, folks, I do have the ability to sing cosmic songs. I get these songs in my consciousness. Thank you so much for giving me. Well, I appreciate you coming up on the
All right,
screen.
thank you. I'm going
All
to
right.
keep watching you. You can take me down.
I'll take you down slowly. Here we go. All right. And I'm going to see who the other person is that wants to come up here. Let's see. Nolan Brinkman. Nolan Brinkman, can you tell us a little about yourself? I don't know who you are. Can you tell us, hey, Down the Rabbit Hole podcast? Good to see you, James. Noel Brinkman, I think, or Brickman. One of my things is I want to know what you're going to talk about before I bring an unknown person up. And again, if anyone else is having any visitations, let's see, anybody else having visitations? I want to know. Now, I think I'm going to bring up the person. I'm going to go backwards here. Arlene T. Arlene T. We're going to bring Arlene T. I'm just an old school country gal who loves life and loves nature. And I hope my camera stays bright. Please stay bright. If you do come up, Arlene, we'll definitely bring you up if you wish to come up here. And I asked the command to keep my screen bright. So far, so good. I asked the Ashtar Command to keep my screen bright. Please. Thank God it is bright. So far tonight, I've had no technical problems with the visuals. James, good evening. How you doing, brother?
Hello, greetings, Commander. They say the freaks come out at night, and it's Friday night, and we are here to party.
You know what happened? My screen just went dark, but the thing is, I have another light, my light here, so I can bring myself back to brightness near the screen here. So we're doing pretty good. How you doing?
You look
And
fantastic.
And Arlene's coming up here because I invited Arlene up. If TikTok works correctly, we'll have her on here in a second or two. It's playing. It's
I see
kind of
Arlene right there.
Yeah, but it's rotating like it's having trouble.
Oh.
That's the thing with TikTok sometimes. So what's happening out your way?
Well, I wanted to know. Oh, there goes Arlene.
Oh my god. My signal
Arlene,
is so bad tonight.
Yeah, there's something going on, but you sound pretty good. Are you there?
Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Strange things are
Yeah, I can hear
happening.
you.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, I thought maybe you can hear me. Sometimes
I
TikTok has
agree.
technical problems, but so tell us what's going on, Arlene. I think
I'm
there's a
sorry.
delay or
What'd you
something.
say, Commander?
Yeah, can you tell us what's happening?
I can't get my phone to back out of this. My phone is stuck on this gifting thing. I can't get it to come off.
You can't get it to come off. I'll bring you down and bring. I'm going to bring you down and then come back up. Okay.
No, I'm stuck here.
Hold on. You're not going to be
Can
stuck. Wait a minute.
I back out of this and then you could pull me back?
Okay, I just backed you out now. James, are you still there?
Yeah, oh man, I didn't know
Okay.
what the heck was going on there
No,
for a
she's having
minute.
TikTok's having some technical problems. I don't know what it is with TikTok, but it's some problems. Arlene, I took you down so you can come back up, and maybe it'll correct a technical problem that you might be having. You're watching Encounters, folks, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon, and yeah, let's see if we can bring her back up. Hopefully, she's not in the gifting
So,
mode thing.
Commander,
Yeah.
Dr. Greer was on the Patrick Bet David podcast. And Dr. Greer says that we are going to see an increased amount of human made UFO like encounters, but it's the human technology. And Shy said the same thing, that they're seeing a lot of the human,
Right.
secret government crafts out there. And
Right.
right now, that actually we're the good, the good ETs out there are they're having a hard time because of the scalar weaponry that our world, they just came out with a new weapon, and this new weapon not only does it incapacitate the ship, but it causes physical damage to the beings on the ship, whereas before
Yeah.
the technology would just hurt the ship, but
Right.
now the technology is hurting them on a telepathic level. So we're
Yeah.
going to see some crazy stuff going on.
Oh yeah, that's what April was talking about when she went into the oceans. That they used this technology and they destroyed the vegetation, and the command had to go in there and they were able to rejuvenate, or what's the word I'm trying to use? Yeah, rejuvenate would be the word. Everything that was being messed up. They also hurt. There was the mer people in the ocean. This little 8-year-old girl was taken on the Ashtar ship. They were trying to save her life. And April, when she was on the ship, held this little girl's hand. And I told this on my radio show the other weekend or two, and it's a very sad story. And this little girl, because of what we have been trying to do against these very beautiful, peaceful people and the mer people and the space people that have their cities in the depths of our oceans, we've been trying to destroy them. And it's totally wrong. And this little girl, as she was holding her hand, died in her hand, holding her. A little 8-year-old girl, a mer person, the mer people person,
Oh
you
man.
know, and that touched my heart. And when I talk about that story, I think the whole world should know that what our governments are doing, or our government is involved with the negative ET stuff, they're trying to stop contact. People need to realize this. They're not going to stop it, but they're trying to do everything in their power with what's been given to them by the negative ETs, with their technology and development of technologies. Again, making another weapon, as James was talking about, that can not only affect the spaceships, but also affect the life of people, men and women on these ships that are trying to come and help us. They're trying to destroy them.
Yeah,
That's what
this the weapon is more advanced than the scalar weapons. Remember the scalar weapons we were
yeah.
talking about?
Oh yeah, I
So
remember that.
so this new weapon is more advanced than that. And you know, it's almost going to get to the point where we're going to have disclosure. We're going to have disclosure because the hidden hand, the governments, the world powers, they're freaking out right now. They're freaking out
Oh
because
yeah, they're
people are
totally
waking
freaking out.
up. They're
Yeah,
freaking out because people are not wanting to stick to the narrative anymore. And what happens is you got people um, that are trying to bring in the negative, and it gets real hard for people to discern. Like, look what happened with half pint, you know.
yeah,
So it's like they got to be careful because there is opposition going on
and they have to
for
protect
sure.
themselves. Like with half pint,
Like
with
we've
Mary,
got it confirmed.
right? With Mary and Ray, when I had them on the last time, I told them, I helped them out that they need to put a protection around their property where they are, and I worked with them on that. I haven't talked to them since. I don't know if that's been done yet or not, but if it has, that would solve their problem. But with this other stuff going on that James and I are talking about, the government is really, and when we say government, I'm not talking about the surface government where people are saying who you're going to vote for, a prime minister.
Right.
You're going to, we're not talking about that kind of thing. We're talking about a government within a government that doesn't care and can do whatever, does whatever it thinks it wants to do, and has been working for over 70 years with negative ETs who gave them reverse technology, and they've actually advanced that technology. They've advanced the technology to try to stop contact from happening. I will say this because I work with the Ashtar Command. I'm part of the Ashtar Command. I'm going to say this right now to any government agents that are listening. You're not going to stop contact. You're not going to destroy space bases in the oceans. You're not going to do this. It's not going to be allowed. And the Ashtar Command can stop you and will stop you no matter what technology you use. They will be quick enough to know what happened, and they will be able to respond in a way in which it will dismantle and stop eventually the technology you're using against the beautiful beings of light that are coming here to reconnect with the people of Earth. You can't stop disclosure. You're not stopping disclosure. It's going to happen, and it's never, never going to be stopped. I'll say that right now as I'm drinking apple cider, as I'm talking to hundreds of people around the world. Our monitors on our spaceships, we have space people watching my show on the ships. They have monitoring systems. They watch the show. They hear what I'm saying. You're not going to stop what's coming. There are many, many fleets of light that are coming here. They're coming from all beyond this part of the universe, beyond this universe. It's taking time, but they're going to be here in hundreds and hundreds of ships. And there's not one technology that Earth has that's going to stop contact. It's going to be dismantled. It'll be stopped. Once they learn what you're doing, they've been able to stop the ones in the oceans. They got most of that technology stopped. They only had a few that they couldn't get to. I'm sure by now they did. So even when they tried hurting the people in the oceans,
I was going to tell you, Commander, that about the ocean technology. They're going to start using that even more too. They used it. They just used it to make a hurricane that hit Texas.
oh yeah, they've used the
And
technology in the oceans. Yeah.
what they're doing is they're warming the water and it's affecting the animals. You know, I live over here by the beach and we see, you know, all the time animals in the ocean. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, anybody that's been in the ocean, and I know you guys feel it, there's an energy that's off. There's just
Mm-hmm.
something that's off, and it's
Mm-hmm.
man-made frequency that they're putting
Yeah.
into that water, and you could feel it. And if we're feeling it, just imagine what those poor fish are going through.
Yeah, and also not only the water, but also in our atmosphere. They've been playing games with our atmosphere for a lot of years. I mean, beyond whatever decade you were born in. Well, I was born, through the '60s. Back then, there was less of that happening, but there's a lot of it happening now. And when people talk about who are the negative ETs, well, there are
We
negative
are.
ETs.
The humans are.
Not all the humans, but they're the humans that are in power in doing this. The ones that are empowered who are doing this secretly, they are the negative ETs within our planet. There are negative. When people say, "Who are the negative ETs?" One day I gave a real. I was meditating and thinking about who are the negative ETs. Well, there are physically negative ETs from other worlds in the third dimension, but also in this third dimension, we are the negative ETs. Now, the reason why the Star Wars program was started, which Reagan alluded to, who knows what Star Wars was or is, it was developed. It was supposedly developed to protect us against having a Cold War and missiles being shot up that might be nuclear or otherwise, and it would destroy them. The Star Wars program was created to, basically the Star Wars program was started, and I think, James, you know this to be true. It was started because I remember the speech at the United Nations. It was started to stop positive contact from happening. It was supposed to be used, the beams of these laser beams from the Star Wars program were to be used against extraterrestrial spacecraft. And it was used for that purpose. And now they have other technologies they want to use to stop contact. James alluded to it. April, who talked about it when she was in the ocean with the Ashtar Command just less than a month ago, helping save people that were affected by what was happening. They've used nuclear energy in the oceans against the mer people, against the space people. And essentially, they're doing everything they can to try to destroy and stop contact from happening. But I'm going to say this again. They will not be able to do so. They're not
It's
going to be able to
funny
stop
you
it.
brought up the nuclear commander. From what Dr. Greer was saying, because he really went into depth in this conversation. It was a really good show. Everybody should listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he was saying how the nuclear aspect of it, when that fission is happening, when that reaction is happening, and it's splitting, the fabric of the universe, essentially, it is causing the equivalent of like psychic, like a psychic attack
Right.
on the ETs. And
Right.
what's happening right now in the Middle East is Iran is dummy testing a lot of nuclear material. And Shai was saying there's a lot of concern going on over there and there's a lot of UFO activity, monitoring it to keep their eyes on to see what's going on, because it's
let's put it this way. In the 1960s, I don't know if you were around in the 60s or not, but being that I grew up through the Cold War, I know emphatically that the Ashtar Command prevented us from blowing up our planet. It goes back to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. When the scientists created the hydrogen bomb, which was used, when they dropped the hydrogen bomb during that period, that alerted all the space people from other planetary worlds. Because when we do stuff
we're
like
here.
that, folks, it vibrates throughout the multiverse. People say, well, how could that be possible? It happened. And when it vibrated, it affected every other planet and every other solar system beyond Earth. That alerted the space people that they have to come here. That's why you had, in the 60s, a lot of people having contact with human space people that were getting information to bring back at that time, in that decade, 60s and 70s, back to Earth. There were books written about it. I have some of the out of print books of the contactees. These are true stories. In our current timeline in 2024, they are trying to do this on Earth to the space people that are living here. People used to think that we are the only people living on the planet. Like, this is it. We grew up, and hey, look, it's natural. You went to school, you were taught a certain thing in a textbook. Do people realize, and I've said it before, that we aren't the only ones living on Earth? There are other civilizations of beings that are from higher vibrational levels that actually live on our planet. They live in our oceans. They live in the inner Earth. The Agartha network is part of that, but they also live within the depths of our oceans. So what they were doing is they had to reverse technology. They had this technology from the extraterrestrial, the negative ones, and they made it stronger, and they used it in the oceans recently, about less than a month ago, and they were destroying vegetation on the surface. They were also affecting dolphins, whales, and other life forms in the oceans. But the command went in there and stopped it. They caught the ETs that were doing it, and they went after whatever the other stuff is that had left. So they caught them doing it, and I'm pretty sure they have them quarantined by now. So the good news is they were caught, and it is being stopped. But it had happened, and the fact is, going back to the little mer girl who was 8 years old, when I was doing my show the other week, I actually had all this emotions come up about this little girl. Things like that should never ever have happened. We should have never ever been able to do this. We have a planet that is so corrupt. This planet, until we have no more people controlling the world, no more people being kings and queens and presidents and prime ministers, when all of that is gone, when it's organically disappeared, this planet will be at peace. Until we break down these systems all over the planet, wherever it is, I don't care if it's a castle, if you have a empire, all these things have to fall apart. All of them. All the militaries, everything else has to fall apart, because these things are being controlled by those who have not the most positive interests of humanity. Do you understand?
Well, Commander, it's about the vibrations too. We're not going to have that contact when the ETs view us as a society that can be manipulated and taken advantage of. We have
Right.
to show freedom. We have to show enlightenment. We have to, like you said, we have to get to that utopia.
Right.
And
the other thing
it's hard.
is,
It's hard. A lot of us are in the matrix, me included.
yeah. But what's happening now is, the good news is, our space family, people that I'm connected with off planet on that ship, our space family is basically had it. The councils of light have said, okay, Earth power people, we're done with you. We're not waiting any longer for contact. So they're going to have contact, and that's why the Pentagon and all these people are freaking out, because they don't know what to do now. So they're putting all their efforts into trying to stop things in any way they can with the reverse technology, as we talked about earlier. They are not going to be able to do it. When all these other fleets of light come here soon, there's nothing they can do against the Ashtar Command, against the different planetary systems of light, because those ships that they have can turn everything off in a nanosecond. The electricity, all the weapons, they can shut everything down. And they will if they have to. That I know.
The fleets are coming, because we've got videos from Japan, UFO mania out there in Japan. They got a video of, it must have been at least 30 craft,
Oops.
and it was broad daylight, multiple people seeing it. Miami had an incident with about 4 or 5 crafts, so we're seeing more crafts around in groups.
And I just
I saw
posted.
the one that got escorted. Remember that one? It was getting escorted by a military, and it wasn't new military, it was old military. It was really creepy.
And get this, on a non-creepy thing, I just posted 2 videos unrelated to each other in 2 different places, one in Brazil and one in the United States over Miami. And if you look at the videos and you're like basically a person that's alert, you'll see that the type of spaceships these 2 are look diamond shaped. The one in Brazil, and it was really, really a good video, and the one in Miami that the person got in the sky above looked like it was a cloudy day or whatever, maybe, but they look very much diamond-shaped, a saucer diamond-shaped craft. Both of these look like they were from the same grouping of ETs. And if you see the videos, people should check it out on my main page.
Well, there was a diamond craft above the pyramid this week too.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw it before I came on here.
One. So what we're saying is, there is reverse engineered human type craft that's flying around. But, again, if you're sensitive to things like that, you'll know that if it's a human type craft, you're not going to feel anything. If it is an extraterrestrial spaceship and you are sensitive, you'll feel an energy. Either you'll feel good about it or you won't feel good about it. It's either or. But there's going to be, and there is.
Yeah, the human. The human ones, the vibration of the human ones will mess with your head. You'll know it's a human one.
You'll know the difference. You'll know the difference.
You'll know,
The
yeah, you
ones
can
that
feel the difference. They're using those, gray alien avatars to make, when they because Shai was telling me that they're doing that most of the, not the peaceful abductions, but the scary abductions, those aren't being done by ETs. Those are being done by
humans,
human ET interaction together.
right, with the Zeta.
Yep.
But that's going to be
Yep.
stopped.
They're
That's
working
actually
they're
being,
working with them.
and the thing is that there's places that are secretly located out in country areas where the Ashtar Command has been catching these Zeta and reptilians, and they're catching them, and they're interrogating them, and some of them say they didn't want to do, they were forced to do what they were doing by their leaders of whatever planet they came from, but they are being sent off planet right as we speak. This is happening right now. I don't know where they are, but they are rounding up all these people. These ETs don't have a lot. There's not a lot of them on the planet, so they are being located, and before contact happens.
Well,
And
you
that
know
we're
what's
talking.
happening too? They Dr. Greer said that right now the humans have we have technology to communicate interdimensionally with communication such as like a radio wave or like information data. We can transfer data interdimensionally, and they're working on, transporting physical material now. The
Mhm.
problem is, Dr. Greer is saying, these guys are messing with these portals.
Oh, I
You Like
lost
you
you there.
said, they're getting the Zetas off, but as quick as they're getting them off, boom, they're coming right back, and it's like what
But get
they're
this:
scrambling. They're scrambling. So we got to keep the high vibes up.
right, when the eclipse happened, uh, the negative ETs, another group came in. April talked about it, and then the command went in after CERN was activated during the eclipse. They secretly did this purposely, and they were hiding near the sun, the
Yep.
negative ETs, and they came in, but they were also exposed, and and the portals that were open were closed up by the Astral Command. They closed them right down. They didn't let them stay open. So they know what's going on. They're very aware of what's happening,
Well, we saw
and
the
they're
ships right above CERN when it happened.
yeah,
The ships were there.
yeah. So they're, I mean, I want people to know, my audience, the command is working diligently and very quickly against any of this stuff happening. They're stopping it, and they will stop it. And there's going to be contact, whether the government likes it or not, in about a year and a half. And you're going to hear more and more about it on my show. You're not going to hear it on, you might hear it on some other YouTube channels, maybe. But this is where you're going to find out what's going on right here. We're going to tell you everything that's happening right on this show. I promise you that much. And it's now almost 2 in the morning, so I think it's time for me to end the show. James, I want to thank you for coming on here tonight, um, and I appreciate it so much. Interacting and sharing some information.
Yeah, we got to have disclosure. Once everybody believes, then we can really get disclosure. And we got to get the
Yeah,
technology disclosed too.
yeah, and that's going to happen. There's a lot of good things in the future, and just everyone just think positive because we have a lot of good things. We have to expose the negative things that have been done in order to expose these beings that we're doing it with our government. That is part of what is busting the matrix and telling people the truth. All right, James, thanks for coming on here,
Everybody
man.
have a great weekend. Be happy. Do something that makes yourself happy. Do something that makes others happy.
Hmm.
And just be good to each other.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring Arlene up just for a minute. James, I'm going to bring you down. Thank you, brother. Let's see here, Arlene. We'll bring you up for a few minutes if we can. Let's see, Arlene. Where are you? Oh, there it is. We're going to bring you on and let you. So, okay, do you hear me? Arlene? Are you still having
Yeah,
technical problems,
can you
Arlene?
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear
Can
you.
you? Okay, so you're mentioning some things you wanted to share. Let's go and get into that?
Well, to begin with, I've had a lot of, I guess what you would say, extraterrestrial experiences since I was 7. I believe they have their own, and I keep forgetting what they're called. People have them today to try and spy on others. The remote, what do they call those things?
Oh, remote viewing.
Droids? I don't know.
There's a thing called remote
I'm
viewing.
sorry, what?
Remote viewing?
Yeah, those remote things, but only theirs around. My sister and I witnessed one. She actually saw it, and then we seen where it left a burnt impression into the dirt, and it was literally perfectly centrifugal. And then I had an experience myself where I was living in a what do you call it, upstairs apartment, and I noticed that they bring, for some reason, a lot of electricity whenever they make an entrance or whenever they're about. For some reason, there's always like ecstatic electricity in the air. But yeah, there was 3 of them. They were in a triangular formation, and they showed up in my bedroom window one night, and they just were there for a split second, it seemed. And then they were gone just as fast as they got there. But they were actually, checking me out. And just as I was fixing to say, hi, or, what are you doing? They, disappeared.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is,
But when I was living in Central Florida, for some reason, I'm sorry, what?
I think they were drones, some sort of ET drones.
Yeah, there was a lot of activity. I don't know why, but we have a lot of activity in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're going to have you on again. Let's have
There's
you
a lot
on.
of activity in Florida, and I don't know why.
I'm getting a lot of noise coming through your phone. I don't know why
Yeah,
that
the signal
is.
is bad tonight. I don't know why.
Yeah. Let me, we'll have you on, let's
I don't
have you
either.
on. We'll have you on Sunday night. Sunday night we'll have you on. Sunday night, can you hear me?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, yeah, there's some problems
Yeah,
with
the signal is bad
layer.
tonight.
Yeah. All right, Arlene, we'll talk to you Sunday night on the show.
Okay, that's fine, Commander. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Peace, love, and light, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have her on Sunday night. All right, folks, it's almost 2 a.m. Yeah, it's been a great night tonight. We've had a great show. Let's see. Scooby says, Commander, can the command put the negative people in another dimension? Well, that's what they're doing. They're sending them off planet and they can't come back. They probably could send them into another dimension, and I'm sure that's probably happening. Kerry79 says, I've had many experiences, but the few I've had were amazing and loving and changed my way of life. Beautiful, Gary. Thank you for the gifts, by the way. Yeah, tomorrow night is our Ashtar Command contact night, and we'll be talking everything Ashtar Command tomorrow evening. Then Sunday night we'll be going back to our regular interviews and things here on Encounters. I want to thank everybody out there, all the new people. Everybody follow me. We're at 83.7 83.7. I need us to get up to 100,000 in a few minutes. So if everybody will tap the screen, 264 people, really tap that screen. At the top corner, you can see the numbers. They're at 83.9. Can we get up to 100,000 right now? Can we do it? I know it can be really quick if everybody does this. If everybody taps, you know it's going to go up there that quickly. So I want to have a collective effort of my show here. Everybody involved. I want to get everybody involved. At 85 now, we're at 85. We're at 85.5, 87. We're getting up there. Everybody. That means everybody get involved. Not just 1 or 2 people. If everybody taps, it helps other people not get their fingers tired and falling off. So everybody tap. Violetta's diary. Sunday night, Violetta, If you want to come on Sunday night to the show, we'll definitely have you on. We'll definitely bring you on the show live, and we'll bring you on the air or show or what have you, and we'll be happy to talk to you Sunday night. Saturday night, tomorrow night, is Ashtar Command Contact Night. So that's Saturday night, every Saturday here on Encounters. We're at 93.2. And we will bring people up Sunday night. So Sunday night, we'll bring people up that are requesting on live now. We're going to be getting, in a few minutes, ending the show. We need to get to 100,000. We're at 283 people in here. And I know not everybody's tapping. If everybody taps, we'll get there really quick. Everybody. We're at 98.5. I'm looking at the numbers. We're getting close. Almost at 100,000. And yes, thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. You're the best audience in the world. You really are. I thank you, everybody, for doing that. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for your questions. If I didn't get to your questions, not because I'm ignoring you, I try to multitask on here and look at everything. If I missed a question, I'll get to it on Sunday night. Saturday night, we have our special every Saturday night, our Ashtar Command Q&A. So please, Tanner Gaines, thank you for the chili. I appreciate the gifts. And let's see, did we reach our goal with the hats? Let me take a look here. Now, I have 8 more of those hats. So I didn't reach my goal with the hats. So I'd like to get 8 more hats taken. If you go to your gifting area, if you have TikTok coins or whatever they call that, just you see the hat. I think you have to use 99 coins. I think I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, thank you for your gifts. Anyway, we appreciate everything. Young Skywalker, thank you. John Dill says, "Why was intelligent life form visit a stupid one thousands of years behind its technology?" I'm not sure I understand it. Why was intelligent life forms visit if you're saying we were a stupid planet, that's not true. Tahar, our planet is billions of years old. There have been ancient civilizations here that were very advanced, and then we had downfalls of vibration. We had the planet go up in vibration, down like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Now we're going back. Hey, Tahar, thank you. And now we're going back up in vibration. And so we're not what you call a non-intelligent planet. There are people on here that are extremely spiritually intelligent that have woken up. We're going up into a higher frequency. So the space people have been here for billions of years, coming and going, not just in our current human history, but in our earlier part of our billions of years of Earth history. There's always been very advanced civilizations, such as before the pyramids, during the pyramids. There's been constant interaction from star people. But anyway, it's almost 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Good thing I didn't say 3 in the morning. Now I'm a little bit tired. I want to thank everybody for being here. Hold on to your questions. We'll see you again Saturday night, Ashtar Command Contact Night, Sunday night, back to regular programming and so forth. Everybody have a good weekend, and we'll catch you later.